Hello, hello.
Hi,
We
everybody.
we're just laughing about inappropriate things.
What else is there?
And I'm just going to say that I really haven't I've been drinking but really not that much, but I didn't really eat today. And something I did do something very serious. I'll just briefly say that I'm really going forward trying to get justice for Casey, and I went to the county legislature and not testified, but I spoke and talked about what happened to Casey at the hospital. And I'm not going to dwell on it now, but it was very heavy and went over well, though, even though there were a bunch of MAGA people. There was a lot of crazy stuff going on, but not going to get into that. We might do an episode next week about serious stuff, but just as to say that I am drinking, and I really only ate some carrots, although I was supposed to. I took an hour like I was going to eat because I didn't eat all day, but instead of, I just didn't feel like eating. I felt like having wine, and then I was,
Oh my God.
yeah.
You told me, oh, I'm going to go home and
I
eat.
meant to, but you know what I did? I went and I put all my notes, like, because I've been researching this, but it was like all over the place. Like, so I went to put my notes into our podcast app. Like, it has like a thing for a script. They call it script, but it's really just my notes, right? But I had to get it all in there. It took me all that time to get it in there. That's really what I was doing. But and I just started drinking. I just wanted the wine because if you just went to a county legislator thing, and I mean, really, I poured out my guts about my son, and it is hard. It is very hard
Of
talking about my
course.
son's death. But I was told that I was given, many people gave me the condolences, but like also I was told that I did very well. So it's just really, really hard. It's always hard to talk about anything sad, which I kind of do all the time. Like a lot of my books are really sad about things. But when it's your own personal tragedy, it puts it in a different realm. It's very hard.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You just, although you try, I'm just watching a bunch of swans swim by. That's nice. I love the swans. Um, you know what's weird? One
What?
baby did not turn white yet, and he's leading all the rest of them.
Fuck yeah. Good for
That's
that baby.
funny, right? I wonder if is he going to turn white, or because like they're like full grown, and one of them is just still brown.
Maybe, yeah, maybe he's not.
Well, that's a lesson about life, isn't it? Right now, you know, think about it.
He's doing his own thing. Good for
He
him.
better watch out because ICE is going to come and take him. He's brown. He better watch out. He's going to wind up in El Salvador. An El Salvador
Listen,
swan.
I am also brown and I am I'm a citizen now, but
Yeah.
only because of a piece of paper, and I also don't have a birth certificate. So
Yeah, you better
if
carry
I
your shit around. You
disappear,
got to carry it around. But I am worried about the swan because he really has, I'm sure he has no idea at all. Like, he's just like swimming out there.
he doesn't have a birth certificate either.
Got nothing. But he is leading his white brothers and sisters. He's
Good
like,
for him.
he's like right in charge, and the rest of them are following. It's so funny.
Also, I'm sure they couldn't care less what
No, but
color any of them
isn't it
are.
interesting that it just like it's really odd that he's the one. Like, why is anyone
Yeah.
of them leading? Like, they get to a certain age and the parents like they're not completely gone because when they're gone, they're gone. They just leave, right? And then the
Hmm.
parents mate again, right? This has been going on longer than my kids were kids. You know what I mean? Like it just happens every year. The only interrupted by Hurricane Sandy, but they did come back and do it again. But in this case it is interesting that the brown swan that is not turned yet is far ahead of the rest of them, like leading them like very triumphantly. I like that.
I like that too. But where do the babies go? Like, where
Well,
do they
I
go to
really
live?
I don't know. The parents send them away. I think that nature is a little vicious. Like the parents are like, "You're right. You're an adult. You got to go and make it on your own now." Like they're mean.
Oh my God. Did you see there's a new movie on Netflix about nature? And it is so doom and gloom.
Nature is
And I forget,
horrible. Yeah,
I
nature's
know,
bad.
but it's apparently made by, I think, the same people that made The Purge or
Oh
something.
my
I was
god.
like, what the hell?
Well, what?
I know. I
Wait,
see the ad all the
is it a
time.
documentary?
Yes,
Well, the Purge people. Well, I thought I did diverse things, okay, but the Purge and then going to a documentary about nature is odd. Just gonna
I'm
say
pretty sure it's The Purge. It's a movie like that you're like, oh,
the
how is
Purge.
this?
The Purge is one thing that I will never even entertain for a moment because it will just break me. The idea of people killing people like that, I literally can't take that. If
You,
I have ever
I
saw that,
can't
I
either.
think I would die because like, what is that? What is that? I don't
I
want to
don't
know.
know.
I don't want to know any more about it. So nobody tell us, okay? Because I will die. So if you want me to die, I won't read your email. No. I defy you to send me that. I just
Listen,
don't know. It's awful.
a lot of those things don't freak me out. I'm not really freaked out by scary movies for the most part, but because that shit could happen.
It is right. And it's like the pure hate that comes from people that you would want to
Yeah,
go and kill people. Like I can't stand it. It's like everything that it's like the worst things about society. Who wants that? I don't. So
I
for them
know.
to do a documentary about nature is odd. But I will say I was writing a screenplay for a while before I realized this that it's just nonsense. That it's very impossible to break into the industry because it's like an old boy. It's basically an old boy club in that you kind of have to go to film school and be raised in that whole thing. I'm not saying you have to be a guy, but I will say that many more men succeed in it. But you have to go to a certain route, and that's how you get in. Whereas me writing screenplays, although I took so many classes and I worked so hard on it, and I know I'm a good writer, it's just so hard to break in that I just kind of gave up. But I was writing a screenplay. It's about national parks. You know how people die in national parks a lot? Maybe they don't talk
Mhm.
about it that much, but the idea that one park ranger is actually a serial killer, that was the movie. And I really love it. It wasn't
Ooh,
my idea. It was actually given to me by somebody else when I was substitute teaching this woman.
that's a
And
great
it
idea.
is a great idea. And like, you know how many people come up to me and say, I have an idea for you? It's like, oh God, what now? This really was a great idea. And it really was. And she says, I'm never going to use it. I'll give it to you. But then, it wasn't just I'll give it to you. She wanted to be part of it. And that would have been fine even. It all would have been fine if it could have been made, right? But it's just too hard. I can't break through the thing. But the tagline was nature is cruel because it happens in a national park, but it's also about human nature because the guy's a serial killer, but it's about nature itself. And I really stand by that. Nature is cruel. Nature is
Of
cruel.
course.
And I don't, it really breaks my heart. It does. You know, I don't know what to say, and so the parents of the swans, when a certain time comes, and this is about the time of year, that they're going to kick them out and be like, go on your own. And because I think they just have to make room for having new babies. I don't really know. It's like they're programmed for this. It's like how much
Doesn't
are we in control of what we do, or is it that we're programmed to do things? I don't even know.
I think we're programmed? I mean, I think most animals do that,
Hmm.
don't you think?
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
and also,
Like cats.
I'm
Cats get rid of their kittens. They're
yeah.
like, fuck off. Meanwhile, they took such good care of them, and all of a sudden they're like, I don't even know you.
Oh, yeah. My first cat I got from my friend down the street. Her cat had kittens. So we were kids, and we thought that these cats would want to keep in touch.
Right. Well, who would think
They
that?
did not.
No.
That mother couldn't care less. We tried to get the siblings together, couldn't care less. It was like they didn't know each other.
Well, if they stay in the same home, like I had siblings
Yes.
once. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But you
Yeah.
take them away for a day or so, and they're like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah.
You take them away
They
for one
did.
day, and they don't even want to know each other.
They did because I would bring mine. There was a lady down the street from her. This is where I wanted an orange cat. This is why I have an orange cat now because my first pick was the orange one. But the
I love
lady,
orange
this
cats.
I know, but the older lady on their block took the orange cat. She named him Rusty,
Okay,
whatever.
that's not too
And
hackneyed or anything. I mean, that's never been done before.
yes, well, listen, I had a dog named Sparky, so I'm not one to talk. But and my friend still had the mother. So I would bring my cat, whose name was Smurfette, because that's how dorky I am,
Yeah.
and I would bring my cat to visit those two cats. And no, my cat, those cats, none of those cats gave two shits about the other one.
I don't know. But I think it does have something to do with the sense. Like I remember we took a cat somewhere to a vet, maybe brought it back. My boyfriend, who also I know he had his faults. We know who we're talking about, but he did love animals, and this cats were started hissing at the other cat,
Oh yeah.
and my boyfriend said, "What kind of a memory do cats have?"
No, for some reason, I don't know if it's the sense
It is. It is the
from the
sense.
vet. They
Yes.
always do that.
It's the
They are
scent,
like
right? So you think they're
horrified.
you think they're rejecting them, but if you give it enough time, it's okay. Like if you bring them back after
Yes.
limited time. But
Yes.
yeah, like but the mothers totally reject the babies. Like it's
Yeah,
vicious.
they're done.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's cold.
of course. Nature is crazy. I mean, but human beings aren't exactly warm and fuzzy all the time
I
either.
think we're a little bit better with our kids. I mean, like I adore my
Uh,
children.
n not everybody.
Well,
Not everybody
it is
is.
interesting. Well, it's a whole other subject. So,
Yes.
oh my
Let's
God,
get back to
we never
the
did our
purge.
okay. We never the purge. I don't want to talk about it again.
No, I'm saying the purge is kind of a good segue into what we're
Yes,
talking
it's
about
true.
today.
But wait, we never did our intro where I say I'm Selene Castrovilla,
Yeah, I'm Pascal. Whatever. Go on.
and this is Life in Jest, a show where we subscribe to Chaucer's sage words in the Canterbury Tales. Many a true word hath been spoke in jest. Okay, I had to do it. I'm trying to have
Yeah, I
some
forgot
sort of
all about that.
continuity. And I'm going on a few carrots. I buy the carrot chips, by the way. I highly recommend carrot chips. They're so good.
I do like them better than
They're so much
the other
better
ones.
than the other shit. Do not eat the mini carrot things because those are bleached. Very dangerous. Don't eat them. You know what I'm saying? Baby
They're
carrots. Don't eat them
also they're not good.
because they're fucking bleached. Okay, you're being
Yeah.
poisoned. Don't eat them. Okay, eat the carrot chips. I got them at Lidl. I hate that name. I like Lidl, but it's Lidl. Carrot chips are the best. You can only get them in a few places. Very good. Okay, I'm really drunk. So we're going to proceed here.
Woo!
I had a few carrot chips and a lot of wine. Not a lot. One glass, and this is my second. So there you go. But when you
Uh-oh.
don't, I haven't eaten all day because I did the thing.
Okay, we better make this
All right.
quick then.
So we're going to talk about horror movies, the true stories that sparked horror movies. Okay. So this is interesting because Pascal did some research separately. Like so I
And
don't
I
know what
never do that.
I know. So you really caught me off guard. So I don't know what
But
you
I was really into this.
Oh, I'm
This is
glad. Very
this is like
excited.
my thing.
All right.
Yeah.
So well, here's the first one and I'm interested if you picked up on this one too. Okay? Did you research A Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah. There were movies, I don't know about you, that is one of them that I had no idea
Yeah.
was based on anything real. There are quite
I
a few of
know.
them.
Who would think that A Nightmare on Elm Street could be based on anything real?
Hey, because it's Freddy Krueger. Like seriously?
All right. So, well, since you did this research, you want to start? You want to talk about it?
Oh no, I don't remember what the story was.
Oh my god.
That's why. Listen, I was like, I know I'm not going to remember any of these backstories, right? So I
Oh my god.
printed it
You're
all out,
freaking
and then
hysterical.
I left it
All right.
exactly where I printed it.
Okay.
So
Well,
I
so
read all of these, but
no,
I
you're
read
really
a whole
funny.
bunch.
Yes, I did too. I found some
Listen,
articles. I found some interesting stuff. I'm going to talk after Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm going to talk about a movie that I don't know if I consider it horror, but they did that. I really actually like. It has been one of my anthems. So, but I couldn't believe that A Nightmare on Elm Street had anything truthful about it. That's I just thought it was
I
completely
know
fantasy.
there
So
were quite a few. Yeah.
I know. So a night. I'm just going to say for those who don't know, A Nightmare on Elm Street follows four teenagers living on one street, I guess Elm Street, in
Yes.
Springfield, Ohio. No, sorry, Springwood, Ohio, because Springfield is real, I guess, but Springwood is not.
Springfield is the town in The Simpsons,
That's right.
right?
But I
Maybe
don't
is
know.
it?
it sounds right, but I don't really know. I do like The
Wait a
Simpsons.
minute. I'd have
Yes,
to look that up. I
I
feel like it's Springfield, right?
no, I think it is. I watched the movie. I like The Simpsons, but I could. There's too much to follow. It's too much. The
Yeah, I bailed at some point.
the movie was really good when they were in that dome. I really
Oh
like that.
yeah, it was a great
That
movie.
very good. But Springwood is completely fictional. Okay, so
Right.
and it says a monstrous spirit of a child murderer invades and kills them
Yeah.
in their dreams, and then they die in reality. The bladed leather glove killer, Freddy Krueger, seeks revenge on the kids whose parents were responsible for his demise. They burned him alive. Now, I'm going to
Yeah,
say
that's why it's all melted.
I was so traumatized by this movie. I was when
Really?
I first. Oh my god! There's nothing worse than the idea of somebody kills you like in your dreams because you have to sleep. There's no way to escape this. So it's like the worst possible scenario for for a killer for a horror movie, right? I never would have seen it, but my ex husband, I was just dating him, and another friend. Like I don't know why, but I went because he wanted me to, and I'm telling you, I don't even know how this day how I go on. I mean, like it was. I had to. I think I had to complete telling myself like just a movie, just a movie, just a movie, like a million times because again, you have to sleep, and it's true that whenever something horrible has happened to you, like for example my son's death, I am haunted in my dreams by it. Right. So imagine the idea of somebody killing you in your dreams. It's just the worst. So,
Oh my
but
God, I love Freddy Krueger. I love
uh,
those movies.
well, I am
Love them.
again. I am very reality based. Like I can't get into a fantasy. I get it's the reality thing. So I'm very interested in this because the minute I read that it was based on something, I'm like, what is it? So Wes Craven, who is basically a twisted motherfucker,
Love it.
shared.
Love it.
I will say he's brilliant. No, he's brilliant. There's no question. But wow, wow, right? So he shared the details about where he got the idea for a boogeyman who kills people in the night. And I read a lot of different things about this, and it's all the same thing, but it was all written up a little differently. But he, I found one article where he actually is quoted saying what happened, so I used that. So he read an art. What happened was he read an article in the L.A. Times about a family who had survived the killing fields in Cambodia. Which, wow, that sucks, right? They made it safe and sound. That's really light. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't mean to make it sound like trite, but can you imagine the killing fields? Like, I
Yeah.
think the name says it all. Like, what the hell, right? I mean, these people. It just reminds me of what's going on today, but I'll let that go. So he said he came up with the idea for a Nightmare on Elm Street after reading that. They made it sound. They made it safe and sound to the United States. This is horrible. But their young son was soon terrorized by horrible nightmares and was eventually found dead. So then this is a quote from Wes Craven. Oh no. Yeah, I guess it is. It says as Wes Craven puts it. So I guess it's a quote from him. He told his parents he was afraid that if he slept, the thing chasing him would get him. So he tried to stay awake for days at a time. When he finally fell asleep, his parents thought the crisis was over. Then they heard screams in the middle of the night. By the time they got to him, he was dead. He died in the middle of a nightmare. Here was a youngster having a vision of a horror that everyone older was denying. And that became the central line of Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh my God, right?
Yeah.
So think about, I don't know how old Wes Craven was when he read that, but it's really interesting that he was so struck by this. Like, it shows that, obviously, he shows he's a caring person, right? Like, I don't know Wes Craven, and but he sounds like he's obviously extremely creative, but this shows he's really caring too. So I really like
Uh,
this, you know.
I think that a lot of people, like you said before, I think that these people that write these things are sick individuals, but that's usually not the case.
Oh, I never thought that. I never thought that,
Uh,
but I thought sometimes they would be opportunistic. That's what I thought.
no,
Not, yeah,
most of them aren't. I
yeah.
mean, you could tell, like some of them, you could tell that it's just moneymaker,
Yeah.
slasher nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah. Um,
And those aren't good.
well, I mean, yeah, I don't even want to talk about some of the things I've heard about because they upset me so much. Literally don't want to talk about them. But this is interesting. So then I then further researched what about these people that came. That this death was one in a wave of Cambodian immigrant deaths while sleeping. There was a bunch of them. They were classified as sudden unexplained nocturnal death syndrome, which of course has the acronym, because they always do, SUNDS, so SUNS, which has been investigated by the Center for Disease Control at length. But the wave, and for they've kind of, they really have never come up with any good explanations for it. But this particular wave of SUNS death among Southeast Asians is still unexplained. The people suffering from this puzzling ailment were typically refugees from Laos. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Thank you. A small landlocked country in Southeast Asia. And this was again, I don't know how to say it, Hmong, Hmong. It's a minority group, Hmong. I'm just going to say it like that. I don't know how to say it. They had been persecuted in Laos. No, is that how you say it, Laos? After they were recruited by the CIA to fight North Vietnamese soldiers during the Vietnam War. So in other words, they were there minding their own business and the CIA recruited them. Okay. So they
Nothing
left.
good is going to come after that.
No, and I think they probably were like one way or another, they're kind of screwed, So this came to be known as the killing fields, and we've all heard of them. Maybe we don't understand them, but we've definitely heard of them. More than 30,000 Hmong soldiers helped the U.S. fight communism in the Northern Highlands where they lived, but they died at a rate 10 times higher than their American counterparts. So the CIA recruited them, kind of made them the targets, for lack of another word, right? So in 1975, the Vietnam War ended, and Laos became a communist country. So the whole thing fell apart. That was it, right? I am writing a book, by the way, separate topic, but sort of. But I'm writing a book. I just signed a contract to write a book about the Chicago 8. The whole idea about Vietnam, completely a losing war for so long, but they wouldn't give it up, right? So many people died on both sides, even though they basically knew they weren't going to win. Horrible. But I'll let that go for now. Read my book when it comes out. Who knows when? So the new leadership there in Vietnam viewed the Hmong as traitors for their work with the United States. So this is the thanks they get. Now, completely abandoned by the United States, by the way, right? Like the United States when they were done, they were done. They pulled out. They were like, F you. We don't even know. Who are you? We don't even know who you are. What do you mean we were here for years? No, we don't know you. That's what they did. Okay. It's pretty bad.
Are you really surprised by that?
No, I'm not surprised because I'm writing a book about. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'll get into. I don't know what I'm going to get into because I wrote I wrote like 3 chapters in the outline. I don't know how much I can get into. Really, probably not a lot, but maybe another book will come. It's more about what happened to the people here that were protesting the Vietnam War and how they were. It's just the U.S. has a history of having their own motives for things and just using people for whatever the motives are, and then being like, "Oh, F it, it's over," and then just leaving. And I'm sorry, but like it's a sad thing to do to people. It's awful. So the new leadership in Laos thought of them as traitors. Many survivors from the law fled their homes after the war to become refugees in Thailand or the U.S. It was a, quote, forced migration under the most trying of conditions, says Dr. Oh, boy. Dr. I feel like I'm on drunk history. Dr. Catharia associate professor at UC Berkeley, which I love Berkeley, and author of Southeast Asia Migration, People on the Move in Search of Work, Refuge, and Belonging. And this is another quote. It was a very long journey and a very treacherous journey. So the group's troubles did not end with resettlement, and they often remained traumatized by their experiences back home. And so this is another quote from These people who had endured a great deal and had been subjected to a great deal, that's the end of the quote. What does that mean? Oh, these are people who had endured a great deal and had been subjected to a great deal, she said. And they suffered from high rates of poverty, and soon a mysterious ailment seemed to befall them. Like Freddy Krueger's targets in A Nightmare on Elm Street, many of the afflicted were teenagers and young men. And there were headlines such as Mysterious Fatal Malady, is that right?
Yeah.
Mysterious Fatal Malady striking among men and night deaths of Asian men unexplained ran in the LA Times through the late 1970s and early 1980s. And that's how Wes Craven would have seen them. One 1981 article described the scene of a Laotian refugee who relocated to the U.S. from a refugee camp in Thailand with his family. But shortly after settling in his new country, this 47-year-old 47-year-old, and his name is Yong Lang Tao, died in his sleep with his wife beside him in tears. He was the fourth of the Hmong men to die while sleeping in 9 months, and the 13th nocturnal Hmong death recorded since 1978. So, Wes Craven did say it was that one young person that particularly did it, but he would have read all these articles. So, isn't that interesting that it all came from the real experiences? It is crazy that these people died without an explanation, because that syndrome, what's it called? Hold on. That thing, it is called the SUNS. They never really found a reasonable explanation for why this happened. Personally, I think it had to be from all the trauma that they experienced. So much trauma that they were afraid to go to sleep because they were confronted in their nightmares about it. I mean, I understand that. Little kids are like that, right? They're afraid to go to sleep because of their nightmares, and we have to soothe them. But they haven't had the trauma. Like, we can soothe them because they haven't had that trauma. But if you've had the trauma, how much worse is that? It's like pretty inconsolable, right? And the fact that this kid waited days to go to sleep, and finally, I guess he sort of had to, right? He had to go to sleep because eventually you're going to have to go to sleep. And that is the thing that always terrified me about Freddy Krueger, the idea that you have to sleep, right? So the idea that it came from something real, and they thought that it was over. They thought that, okay, he's sleeping now. And then he died? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. The horror for these parents. You know, like, my God, they got him safe. They got him there safe. And then he died. Like, it's just awful. It's just awful.
That is.
So that is what the true story is about A Nightmare on Elm Street. And honestly, if you had asked me, I would have been like, there's no way there's anything true that inspired Nightmare on Elm Street. It's just this guy's idea. But it was a totally true thing. So I find that fascinating, don't you?
Yeah, I was very surprised.
Right? Yeah. And then there's a little bit more. Wes Craven did have a personal experience that he drew on to create the character of Freddy Krueger, where he said that he had a childhood memory of being scared by an old man in a fedora who stared at him through his window. And that helped him create the character. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, is that why Freddy has that hat?
Yes, a fedora. And he also, and I'm missing my note about this, but I know that he also, something about the colors of Freddy clothes. It apparently those are the colors.
The striped sweater?
Yeah. It's something about that apparently is the most hard thing for the human mind to connect together, to accept those two colors together. And that's why he did that.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I don't know why, but that note is missing. I did have it, but somehow it missed my integration into here. And the name Freddy Krueger, did you know this?
No.
The name Freddy Krueger was taken directly from a childhood bully of Craven's. So it was
Oh, look
somebody that
at
bullied him. Isn't that? I mean, that wow. You know, that's pretty
I
crazy, right?
know, but he well, I don't know. Isn't that giving him some measure of fame at the bully?
I don't know, but that's what he did. So we're gonna have to accept that. I would like to interview Craven, but I doubt he'll
Obviously,
accept.
but
I doubt he'll accept my invitation. It would be interesting to talk to. It's true, but I think for him it was just about purging it and making him into a really bad guy. Maybe not thinking about that.
yeah, no, I get it. I get it.
You know, that's what it is. When we are victims of bullies, we're still so in that we don't think about, am I giving them power, this and that, right? We're just thinking about, I'm going to, you know, you know what I mean? Like it's more personal. So I totally get
Yeah,
that. I did use
I,
that in my novel Evolution, which will may soon be coming out, teaser, but
cool.
it could be. But I did use someone's name that had actually tormented me in the book. So I do get that. But I didn't use the whole name. I just used the first name. So, it's a little different.
Interesting.
I do understand where he's coming from though. Um I don't know. It made me really appreciate the movie more, I'll tell you that. You know. That
Uh,
movie really is
uh,
scary. And I went to Florida with my I don't know if we were no, we were not married yet. My now ex-husband, but when we were dating, we went to Florida. And I don't know if it's still there, but they had this attraction, and honestly, I can't even remember the name of it. But it basically was all the horror movie characters basically
oh,
attacking you. Like
cool.
it's live characters. It's a lot there, but and they're coming after you, right? So Freddy Krueger was one of them, and like I can't even tell you. I mean, it was friggin' terrifying. I think it was called Nightmare on something street, like whatever street it was on, like
Yeah,
and I mean, talk about a place I shouldn't have been. I mean,
yeah, really.
they showed that furnace thing, and I don't know why, but I knew it was Freddy Krueger. And like, I guess,
Yeah,
is there some furnace with Freddy Krueger? I don't even remember
yes,
anymore. But
yeah.
so I knew it at the time. Oh my God. Nightmare on something street in Florida. We wound up there from like, we went to a timeshare thing and they gave us these passes. I don't even know how it happened. Okay. But we went and it was one of the most singular, scary experiences of my life. And I'm still haunted by it. So if you like that kind of stuff,
Wow,
try to find. I don't
we
know
are
if it still
so
exists.
different. I
It
don't
was
think so.
so.
I've never heard of it.
It was really high tech too. Like at the time, I mean, maybe now people would laugh at it. You know what I mean? But like at the time, it was like so. It had like a
Yeah,
lot of like high tech stuff. I don't
I
know.
don't know. I'm a
Friggin'
big
terrifying.
Freddy fan. I love the
You're a fan
movies,
of
and
Freddy.
absolutely, I have several Freddys in my house. I'll show you
Oh,
because one is sitting in front of me. So this is a statue, and it's Jason,
right.
Michael
Show it.
Myers, Leatherface, and Freddy.
Show it a little closer. Can you to bring it to the camera because we can't see it. There you go. That's better. Wow, that is creepy as I'm gonna say it. Fuck, creepy as fuck. That I
Yes,
like
and
that.
I have another Freddy.
Why do you
I
like these things? What's happened?
I've always liked horror since I was a little kid. I probably shouldn't have been reading and watching what I was when I was a kid, but I
Yeah.
loved that stuff.
You didn't get scared, and like it didn't traumatize you at all.
No,
Wow, that's amazing.
I
Do
don't
you have
know. I just always liked it. Even when I was little, my aunt gave me these grim fairy tales. I still have the book she gave me.
They are
And
horrible. Those fairy tales are really bad, the originals.
I read them over and over and over. And
Really?
right, these are not the ones with the happy ending, and I
Yeah.
loved them. Like literally, I have it
Wow.
sitting on my bookshelf, and she must have given. I was like little.
Wow.
I I
Wow.
guess I could read though, so I guess I was a little bit older if I could read that kind of book. But
Yeah.
yeah, I started reading Stephen King very early on. I
Wow.
watched horror movies very early on.
That's amazing. I
Just
mean, like, wow, that's so crazy. Like something in you, you
like
just like that was your
yeah,
thing.
like Halloween is coming up, and the movie theater down the street from me is playing all these horror movies for Halloween.
Mhm.
So. I'm going to see Carrie the day before Halloween and Child's Play on Halloween.
Wow.
You know, Chucky?
Wait, I was going to say, is that Chucky? Okay.
Yeah, that's
All right.
Chucky.
Well, since you brought up Carrie, I did not have that on my thing, but I will say this I know so well because I love that book by Stephen King on, was it called? Was it called On Writing?
Carrie. Oh,
No.
on writing, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's,
So, of course, I love that because I'm a writer. So I love hearing how people wrote things, right? So he talked about his inspiration from that. So I
yes.
didn't put this
Hmm.
in, but you're right. It's another true story because he read an article about teenage girls that have these telekinetic powers, right? And so and that was the thing that actually inspired like the whole thing. There was something else. There was a second thing. Do you know the second thing? I can't remember.
I was going to say, I could be totally wrong, but this is what's coming to my mind that this would happen when they got their period, their menses. Is
Yes.
that right? Yeah.
Yes, and she got really picked on for that.
Oh
That's what
yeah.
happened. Yeah.
Have you seen that scene in the movie? That's fucking awful.
I don't I'm sure I might have seen the movie. But I've blocked it out. But
Oh my God,
well,
a
this is
locker
another
room full
example
of
of
teenage
okay.
girls
Well,
turn
what
on
is
her.
wrong with what is wrong with these girls? They're all going to get their period. Like why do girls always turn against each other? What is that?
I don't know, because she was the oddball and she didn't know it was coming because she has this insanely religious mother. So it's like she's horrified because she's bleeding and she has no idea
Right.
why.
Well, you're
And
right. That was definitely the second thing that he had those two images. And it just goes to show you that it's part by what you read, but part just total inspiration. Because he was a custodian
yeah,
in a school. And so he was in the locker room and he started having flashes of this girl getting bullied by these other girls about getting her period. But he had read that article about the telekinetic thing and he started writing it and then he threw it in the garbage and then his wife pulled it out and said, "You found
yeah.
something here." Yeah. And he said, I don't like her. He goes, or I don't identify with her, whatever he said. And she's like, "I'll help you." And he's like, oh my god! That imagine I almost threw my whole career in the garbage, right? Because that
Oh
was the thing
no,
that made it. Yeah,
his wife, she's great. He owes a lot to his wife. I mean, and
I
they've
know.
been
I will
together
say
forever.
that I'm a writer, like she is a writer also, and I
So are
could
his
not,
boys.
I could not take my husband being so spectacularly popular and my books not being as popular for whatever reason. Like I couldn't handle that, and I would be divorced. It's not going to happen. No,
I don't know.
just
They're
not.
all good. Like I said,
Well,
both sons, but one son is
I
more
know. Yeah.
known than the other son.
Oh, they both sons, right?
Joe and Owen, yeah.
Okay. Well,
But the daughter, I don't think. I think his daughter doesn't. I
I
think
don't
she's like the
know
only one.
what's going on there, but I'm just going to say that for me to be with a writer, I would love. I would absolutely love to have like a partner that's a writer, but we could be equally successful, but it's not cool if they're successful and I'm not that famous, right? Like that's not going to work. So, just saying. So, whatever. Um, all I will say, you're right. That was what those were the things, and it is. I didn't even put that on my thing because I was so used to it, having known that already. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's very interesting how those two things, those things. Well, really, the thing that the true thing really was the article about the telekinetic thing, and then he had the vision of the girl being attacked. Like while he was being a custodian in the locker room, he had this vision. But
Hmm.
it so it's amazing how that happened. Actually, it's like it's proof of inspiration. It's proof, that we get inspired by things. In my
Yeah.
opinion,
And it's
yeah,
a great book. And it's like Stephen King movies are very hit or miss. Like it's either great or it's really bad. And that was one of the really great ones.
did you see the remake? They made a remake.
I did see the remake.
Was that any good?
And eh, I
Yeah, it
didn't
looked a
love it.
little it looked a little hokey. I don't know where I was, but I was in some movie theater and I saw the
Yeah,
thing and it said Carrie and everybody laughed. I'm like, that's not a good
yeah.
sign.
It wasn't. A lot of times when they remade The Shining, and I didn't love that
Oh, I
either.
didn't
They
know that.
remade The Stand. I didn't love that either. But
I
it,
go on
they
record that I
remade
think the
it.
stand is good.
Yeah, they
No,
remade it, and
I don't
I
think.
loved it. I love
Well, a
both.
lot.
I love
Yeah,
both versions
that has been embraced for sure. The remake of it, and I
because it
can't
was
stand
great.
that.
It was so good.
I don't. For so many reasons,
Talk about
I
having a lot of those. He is literally everywhere in my place. I think
I
he's in every
cannot.
room.
I can't take that Pennywise thing. So let's not talk
Oh
about it
my
anymore because
God.
we're talking about
I am
no, no,
obsessed
no,
with him.
no more. No, I
Okay.
don't want to
I'm
talk about it
staring at
because
him right now.
okay, you don't care that he murdered that dragged that kid into a sewer. You don't care about that.
Georgie, I have a pop of him luring Georgie to the sewer.
Why are you okay with this?
I don't know. It didn't happen.
We're gonna need a
It's a
psychiatric
story
evaluation. No, okay. I don't know how you can be okay with this kid being lured and murdered. I can't. I can't. I
because it
can't.
didn't really happen. It's a
What if it?
story.
So what? Why? It's a horrible thing. It would be really good
Uh,
if Georgie somehow fought him off and lived. That would be good.
yeah,
All
I
right.
don't agree.
I don't. Well, okay. So let's not talk about that.
Okay,
I don't. I
we'll
don't
keep
like
going.
innocent. I don't like innocent children being murdered, whether it's real or fictional. So the next story, the next one is something that I really has really stayed with me since I saw it, and it's
Oh, I
called
know what it
Mothman.
is. I knew
Mothman
it.
Prophecies. Yeah, I
I
told you this
absolutely knew that.
because I guess it fits with my whole idea that there are things that try to warn us. I just believe that, and but the problem with the Mothman Prophecies, if you didn't see the movie, I really recommend seeing it, and I am going to give away the end, but because I have to discuss this, right? Because I'm going to tell what happened in real life. Because it really, in the Mothman Prophecies, it really is exactly what happened in real life. But the question is, was it really Mothman Prophecies or was it not? But the events really did happen. This movie covers events that happened exactly. But the question is, was it a Mothman prophecy or was it just not? Was it just whatever happened without that, right? So I didn't know what to expect when I saw that movie. And Richard Gere is in the movie. And do you remember the name of the woman? She's very famous.
I don't, but I know we saw this movie together, and we also have different opinions about this movie.
What's the matter? You don't like the movie?
I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I thought it was
Okay.
meh. I, I mean,
I
I
was
could
very
see why you'd like it, but it just didn't hit it for me. I don't think it was bad.
well. So the idea of it being true, like, because I will talk about the things that the events
That part
actually
is
did happen. Yeah.
interesting. Yeah,
Okay. So
that is very
that
interesting.
okay. Well, let's just talk about that, and then we'll say what about the movie. Um. So Richard Gere was in the movie, and a woman that's very famous that I can't think of her name.
I
Oh,
do not remember. I have
who
no
doesn't have
idea.
an accent? She was in. I think she was in that thing you like also. The
What?
thing.
I like
Fargo.
so many
Fargo.
things.
Fargo.
Oh, Frances McDormand? Is that her name? Is that who you're talking about?
I thought so, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I thought it was her. No, maybe not. It might not be her. I don't know who it is. No, I don't think it is her.
Oh,
I
I
think
wish
I'm
I
wrong.
could look it up, but I'm on my
It,
phone.
hold on. All right, I'll look it up. The woman in. Hold on. The woman in. Wow, I have a lot of comments on TikTok. Just so you know, it just said that. I don't know. I like it when I have comments. I like to engage my people. Okay, woman, actress.
Wow, we are so opposite. I don't want to engage anybody.
Okay, well, I do have a career here.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I,
Actress
oh
is.
no. This is That's
Mm.
what I think I like about working in the library is that I don't, my day
Okay.
job, I don't have to engage.
All right. You ready for the woman's name? It's so not Frances McDormand. You ready?
Who is
Very
it?
famous. Laura
Who?
Linney. Laura Linney.
Oh, I could see that. Yeah.
Very famous woman.
No, I could see where those women would be.
Right.
They do have
Be
like a
labeled as actually.
similar-ish.
They
I could
do.
see where you'd get them confused, definitely.
Yes. So so she was in it and she was very good and it was the two of them. And then you know who else was in it? Deborah Messing from Will and Grace. She played the guy's wife who it was confusing because she died and was the Mothman involved. It was weird. Okay. But anyway, here's the true story. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to turn on my lights in a minute. It's getting hold on a second. I'm gonna turn on my
Yeah,
lights. It's
you
getting
are.
darker. Yeah. Hold
It
on.
did get dark.
I'm gonna pause it. Hold on. I'm gonna click this thing. Hold on. I'm also gonna get more wine.
Are you cutting that out? What
Maybe.
happened?
Hold on. I can't hear
Maybe.
you. Hold on. Hold on. Whoa. Whoa. Why should I cut it out? We have a podcast
Oh,
about
you don't
you
have
know.
to. I don't
Hold
know.
on. Wait. Hold on one second. I can't pour the wine and talk. Oh. This is a separate wine. It's not as potent. It's not as potent. Hold on. It's taking forever.
Yeah, it is. It sounds like pee.
Oh, come on.
No,
Oh,
I'm just, that's what it sounds like because you can't see it.
well, it is.
Obviously, we know it's not pee.
Well, you never know, but I am. I went to Costco has really good wine, really cheap. So I had the Chardonnay and I finished that. So now I have the Pinot Grigio, which is like not as good. Get the
Oh,
get if you're gonna go to Costco and you're gonna get the Kirkland brand, get the Chardonnay. But here's the Pinot. Just saying, you get what you pay for because it's
I guess
cheaper.
that's true.
Okay,
Yeah. I had some good wine the other
Chardonnay.
day. I should have taken a picture of what it
Oh yeah,
was. Yeah, it
was
was
it
really good. It
red?
was red. Yeah, it was red.
Yeah, I know you like red, and I did solve the mystery. Remember in the pictures on New Year's Eve of us, you're drinking white wine, and that one
Yeah.
time. Well, the
Hmm.
reason was because we didn't have cash, so we couldn't pay for our wine after midnight because they started charging. So somebody bought you wine, but they didn't ask you if you wanted white or red, and they bought you white. That's why you had white wine.
Yeah. Well, I think he bought me that drink because I was being a little bitch about it. I was so mad
Uh,
that they closed the bar.
that was bullshit. No, they didn't close the bar, but they wouldn't take credit
No,
cards, and
they closed the inside bar.
yes, that's what it was. Yes. Because we paid
Yeah.
for the thing and it was all included, but they closed that bar. That was bullshit.
Yes. It was. I was really annoyed.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I was
he
like,
just
it's
didn't,
New Year's
he
Eve.
just bought, I know, but he just bought you the white wine. So that is actually the solving of the
It's not that
mystery.
I like both. I mean, I used to hate red wine. I would refuse to drink it, and I would have this argument with my brother constantly because he was like, just taste it. What is your problem? And I'd be like, no, I don't want it because I'm a little baby. And if someone insists that I will like something, I will fight it tooth and nail because I am a 12-year-old.
You really
But
are.
I so am. If you tell me I'm going to like something, I will fight you to the death that I will
I
not like
know.
it.
It's so
I,
true.
I, I don't know why I'm like that, but I am. It's like I have to
Mm.
prove that you're not right. I don't know why.
Well,
But I like both. It
you
depends,
know what?
on the actual
I
wine.
use, I get it, but I used to love red wine. And I'm not saying, look, I haven't had really expensive or even moderately expensive red wine because, I buy cheap red wine. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But ever since I started taking the diet drug, Zepbound, I can't drink red wine. Like the flavor is awful. It tastes sour.
Well,
I
yeah, you said
cannot
that
drink
about
red
a
wine.
few things.
Yes, it has changed my taste buds about a lot of things. And so, well, some people say that they don't want to drink anymore when they're on that. I don't have that problem. It's just certain things.
I think it depends on the person. I think every person reacts a different way.
I agree, but it's sad because I think red wine actually is healthier, but I can't tolerate it at all. So, if someone offered me like something other than what I've tried, I would try it because I would like to have it again. But and I do it. It's actually proven that red wine is much healthier for you. Like it has a lot of benefits. But be as that as it may, I drink the white wine because that still tastes good. But honestly, mostly what I take is like one shot of tequila, then like ice and like a lot, and then flavored seltzer. I like limes flavored seltzer, and then I put in a piece of lime, like actually half a lime or at least, and then it's really good. And it's like hardly any calories. So that's what I drink: tequila with seltzer. In case anybody wants to know,
Mm, that's your recipe.
officially documented.
Yes,
I love it.
I think I have switched, not that I do this very often, but I used to do it a lot more before. But at some point, I was just drinking like vodka with ice, a little bit of water, and a lot of lime, like a lot of limes.
Lime is good, right? Lime makes everything better.
Yeah, I shouldn't say a lot, like a few pieces of lime,
Yeah,
and that was pretty
yeah.
good. Yeah,
Because lime is
or
like a
grapefruit
distinctive.
juice. Yeah,
Right, that's another. Like those are distinctive flavors. I think they really liven up whatever you're drinking. So, guys,
yeah,
just take it from
that's
us.
what I like.
Put in something distinct into your alcohol. Yes. All right.
How
So
did we get on
anyway,
that? Let's go
all
back.
that
Okay.
aside, I don't know. But okay. So this is interesting because after watching the Mothman Prophecies, and I guess I watched it with my son Michael, because then we watched a so-called documentary about the Mothman. Turns out there's really no documentation about the Mothman prior to the what happened that led to this movie, The Mothman Prophecies. It's all like sort of conjecture. So what is really documented about the Mothman are these events that were actually put into the movie about the Mothman Prophecies. So on November 12th, 1966, which is a great year because I was born that year, a group of gravediggers hard at work in Clendenin, West Virginia, noticed something out of the ordinary. They glanced up from their ditches to see something massive soaring overhead. It was darting from tree to tree. The gravediggers later described this entity as a huge brown winged human being. And the gravediggers were scared, which says a lot considering their occupation. They had no idea what to make of this winged beast. And that is the first reported sighting of the Mothman, an elusive creature that remains just as frightening and mysterious as it was when it was first witnessed. Now, it's interesting because when I watched this documentary with my son, they made it sound like throughout history the Mothman has appeared before tragedies. Literally, there's no evidence to support this. The whole documentary was a fraud, and we didn't even like the documentary. We were enthralled by the movie, but the documentary sucked, and probably because they made it up. It's not a
Yeah.
documentary at all. It's a documentary. Okay, so just 3 days after their initial reports, witnesses in the nearby town of Point Pleasant, which is a really ironic name for this whole thing, noticed a winged creature of about 6 or 7 feet tall standing in front of a car they were in. Eyewitnesses Roger Scarberry and Steve Mallet told the local paper at the time, the Point Pleasant Register, that the creature donned a 10-foot wingspan. Wow. red eyes, and an urge to avoid the headlights of the vehicle. According to witnesses, the creature could fly at ridiculously fast speeds, upwards of 100 miles per hour. Now, I don't know how they knew that, but whatever. The beast chased the witnesses to the outskirts of town, and then it ran into a field and disappeared. They knew it sounded absurd. A flying giant moth with red eyes terrorizing cars? Scarberry assured the paper that if he had seen it by himself, he wouldn't have said anything. But 4 people saw the Mothman that day. It couldn't have been just a figment of his imagination. Reporters were skeptical, naturally. Folks believed the Mothman was nothing more than an overgrown owl or an eagle.
That's a big owl.
Oh, it gets worse. Wait till you hear what someone else said about this. This is unbelievable. The reporters did print Mallett's description of the creature, and he said it was like a man with wings. More and more sightings began to occur, and the legend of the Mothman started to take shape. The Gettysburg Times reported 8 additional sightings 3 days after the first report. They included 2 volunteer firefighters who said they saw a huge bird with glowing red eyes. One Salem, West Virginia resident reported seeing strange patterns on his television and then hearing mysterious noises outside his house. As he shined a flashlight toward the direction of the noise, he witnessed 2 red eyes glowing like reflectors back at him. Some believe that the Mothman was even responsible when this resident's dog went missing. A fearsome resident stole a beloved pet. Oh, that sucks. I really hope that didn't happen. A dog. I don't want to hear about a dog dying. So, is there any scientific reasoning for the Mothman? Is there a natural creature that can be placed in all these sightings? Wait till you hear this. Dr. Robert L. Smith, an associate professor of wildlife at West Virginia University, stated that a flying monster was never stalking the town. Listen to this. He attributed the sightings to a... Guess what he attributed the sightings to?
I have no idea.
Did you ever watch Frasier?
Yeah.
Did you see the episode with the crane?
He said it was a crane?
He attributed the sightings to a large sandhill crane.
That is a big fucking crane.
Well, he claims that the large sandhill crane, which stands as tall as a man and has bright red skin around its eyes. I don't know, but I'm sorry. But like all these witnesses, and I just feel like this man is out of his mind.
All right. I also, yeah, I don't believe. I mean, people say they see UFOs and aliens, Bigfoot, Slender Man. I mean, honestly,
Okay, well,
I,
that's
I,
totally different,
I don't know.
Pascal. You are mixing these things up a lot.
I,
Okay.
how is it
Slender
mixed up?
Man is a
People see.
no.
Okay, I should
Because
not have added Slender Man, but the other things, people
thank you.
swear they've seen it.
Yeah, well, we don't know if people have seen aliens just because we are partial to Howard Stern with Riley Martin, and we are prone to ridiculing Riley Martin. But if you didn't know that, because this is a man, Riley Martin is a man who made his whole living on the fact that he was abducted by aliens with really crazy stories that sounded like they were drunkenly induced, and they might have been. Okay, we don't know. But if you and I didn't listen to Riley Martin, would you be so quick to brush it aside?
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
Okay.
Why do you believe them? What proof do you have that you believe people?
Okay. I will tell. I happen to be listening to Howard, an old, like, they play the Howard Stern history stuff. So I don't know when it was played. Okay. Was it? Or it might have been recent. I can't. It's all a blur because it's all. But somebody called in and talked about an alien encounter, but Howard cut it off, and somehow it got cut off. But the guy said they were going down a remote road, and of course Howard's like, it's always a remote road, and I guess it is.
I was thinking the
But
same thing.
it's true. But the guy said they got pulled over, right, by flashing lights. So they pulled over. But when they pulled over, there were no cops. There was nothing. Okay? Now, that alone is interesting. Now, unfortunately, Howard shamed the guy into like cutting off the story and not telling the rest of it. So I don't know. I don't know what happened after that. But the fact that you pulled over, you see flashing lights, you pull over, and then there's nothing there, that alone is kind of odd. You have to admit.
Yeah, but you don't know this guy. He could be making the whole thing up. You literally
Well,
have
yeah,
no idea who he
we
is
we could. Why would he make it up?
because people make
Why?
shit up. I don't know.
Listen, why we could be making up this whole fucking podcast. We don't fucking.
Absolutely.
you're
Here's
like,
the
well,
thing.
right?
He could be telling the truth. He might be lying. We don't know.
Yeah, but well, I wish Howard would have let him tell the whole thing. But the guy just got shamed out of it. Okay. Here's the thing. It could happen here too. It could happen by us, but we are so quick to disclaim it, right? If you think about this, okay, what if the alien stuff happened more places than just these deserted places, but we are more likely to try to write it off for another explanation? You think about that.
Listen, I am not saying that all of these people are lying. It is very possible that these things exist. But at the same time, it's very possible that they don't. I have never seen any of it, so
Right.
I,
Agreed.
I I'm not taking people at their word.
So, just thinking about what this guy said about being pulled over by these flashing lights, like he thinks thinks it's a cop, and then there's nobody there. Are you saying that he made it up? Are you saying that he hallucinated? What are you saying?
It could be any of those things, or he could just be a guy who made a story up. You don't know.
I don't
Literally, you
think so.
don't know who this man is.
I do agreed, but if you call Howard Stern show, I'm against the whole theory that the person made it up. Now, whether it's real or not is a different thing. I just don't
That
think that
we
people.
disagree because I people make shit up all the
Did,
time.
did,
People,
mm,
lots of people are liars.
do you think they make it up? Do you think they believe it? No, I believe that people might believe something that might not be so,
It's very
but I
possible
don't think they.
that they believe it. It's very possible.
Well, I don't
It
know.
could be
All I
any
can
of those
say,
scenarios. We don't know.
I I know. I don't know. It might not have. I don't think it was aliens though with the guy. I think it might have been a ghost. Okay, because ghosts recreate things. So the
It,
guy assumed it
listen,
was aliens. Okay, but don't you think? And I'm going to say you have to accept all the things that have happened to me with since my son died and all these things, and also my boyfriend and my aunt even that I've experienced communication right with the other side. So I'm asking you to accept that stuff, and you don't have to accept that it exists, but you have to accept that I have told you it, and you have to consider it. That's what I'm asking you. In light of
of
all that,
course.
would you think that this might have happened to the guy, but he might have thought it was aliens, but it could have been ghosts, right?
I, I'm not saying it could have been ghosts. It could have actually been aliens, or the guy could be full of shit. It could be any of those things.
I don't think. I
I'm
disagree
not
with that. I
saying
don't
that
think
those
that.
things don't
Yeah,
exist. It's very possible
yeah,
that they all exist. I'm not saying uh, that everybody is a liar either. What I'm saying is all of those
yeah.
things are possibilities, but we don't know.
I know, but I will. I mean, you do believe what I say about Casey, and you've seen Casey like appear, right? I mean, I've showed you, right?
Yes, I, I'm not.
Are you
I'm
saying
sure
you
that
don't? Are
people.
you saying you don't believe about? Wait a minute. I just want to
I
clarify
am not
this.
saying that at all. Yes, I believe you, and
All
I
right.
believe a lot of people. I,
So if
it's
it
not
happened
that
to me, why would it? Why wouldn't you believe it happens to other people?
I'm not saying I don't believe it happens to other people. What I'm saying is it could be any of those things. It could have actually happened
Agreed.
to him. He could have made it up in his head. He could be lying.
Right.
It could be ghosts. It could be aliens. It could be any of those scenarios.
I think it's funny that the guy just went to aliens because, like, why not? you think it would be much more likely to be ghosts because ghosts repeat these scenarios. You know what I mean? Like, could have been like
I
a
know,
group
but
that died, or it could have been a million things. Uh,
also, why would you call Howard Stern? If you've listened to him for more than 5 minutes, you know he doesn't believe
mm,
any of that. That is not your
that's
target
a hard way.
audience.
Well, he just wants to be part of Howard. I understand that too. I get it.
I get
So,
it,
all
but
right.
if I'm looking
Well,
for
I
somebody,
I
that's
think
not
it
the
was.
one.
Honestly, I think it was a recent thing, and then I think it was. I don't think it was a playback. I think it was recent that this happened, but I could be wrong. But anyway, so going back to this Sandhill crane thing, some people took the guy's explanation and ran with it, stating that the crane must have been deformed. So it's a deformed crane. It's not just a crane, especially if it lived in a nearby area that was once filled with nearby bunkers used to manufacture munitions during World War II. Perhaps these bunkers leaked toxic chemicals into the wildlife preserve and created a monster crane. Honestly, I think that is more wild than just accepting that it was a Mothman. That you're starting to think all these crazy things about a crane without any. Why not go? Why not go look for the crane? I mean, if it's there, it's there.
I,
You know,
I don't know.
then it's yeah, that's pushing it. Another theory suggests that the Mothman was just a prank, and when the press began to report on the topic, people in the small town of Point Pleasant started to panic. I don't agree with that either. I think they really meant it. I do. I don't
I,
think it was a
I
prank.
know, but do you know about the crop circles that people thought forever that these were from aliens, and it's not. It was a big hoax the whole time. People
Do you
did it.
know? Can you explain that? Can you explain that?
I, I would have to look up the exact story, but
Let's talk
yeah,
about that in the future. But because I have seen that, but I don't know exactly why people say that. I so until I know exactly the whole story behind it, I am not going to call it a hoax because it is so widespread
okay,
that hard to believe that so many people made a hoax. So let's talk about that in the future. I know what
okay,
you're saying, and I have heard that, but I haven't investigated it. But
okay.
I do
Then let's
think
do
that
that.
it's a very widespread. It was a lot of people. So what kind of a hoax could that be? So we will let's table that.
Okay.
So about the point, it's interesting about Point Pleasant because really everybody's very, very focused on like this happened, like and each person reported it individually at different times. Like there were groups of people a lot, but you know what I mean. Like there's a lot of different reports, so it's hard to explain. And I don't believe one thing I don't believe is that people orchestrated. Let's make a huge hoax. Like I could believe it now with social media that people want to do that for that. Well, I can't believe it at the time because like what would be their gain? You know what I mean? Like I don't. I could actually see a motivation now that a bunch of social media people want to get together and make a hoax because they can get like you know what I mean, go viral or something. But at the time, I can't see a point for that, so I will not accept that.
I don't
But
know. I
I'm
think you
just
have
going
a
to be honest.
lot more faith in people than I do.
Why would they make all this up? What was the point?
What?
Like now,
How
people
many
get
things have
people
you
get
heard that
famous
you would? I know, but how many times have you heard
from
people believe
1960 from
shit?
1960s. Pascal
I
from 1966. I'm not
listen.
saying
We
no.
will have to
We're
agree to
talking about
disagree on
wait,
this.
wait. We're talking about two different things. You could say people twist something in their mind and it's not what they saw. That's one thing. I'm talking about actually lying. Do you think people in 1966 actually lied about what they saw?
I would absolutely believe that.
Okay. Well, I disagree. But okay. This is that's very interesting. Why would they lie?
Have you not known people who lied for no reason?
A lot of people? No. I mean, no. I think
Sure.
they have a reason they want to lie. For no reason they lied.
It's
No
very
reason.
possible. Or maybe they want to bring attention to this town. Maybe that there's so many reasons people would lie. I'm not saying that's what actually
Do
happened.
you think so okay, but do you
I'm
think that
saying
these
that
people were
that is
conspiring?
another possibility.
All right. Well, I don't think it could have happened like that. I don't think that. I just don't understand why. What would their motive be?
I don't know. I don't have a motive, but
I
it
just
could
like,
be
and
that
why would
somebody
you lie?
also it could be that somebody thought that that's what they saw and the other people are jumping on the bandwagon. People do that.
Okay, that's different. But that's different than lying. Because
Yeah, but aren't
so
those
you're
people
saying that
essentially
because
lying?
well, well,
If they're
okay,
jumping on the
so there's a
bandwagon
possibility.
saying that they saw
Wait
something,
a minute.
that's a
What
lie.
about if no, no, but there is that hysterical factor of people that when they hear about somebody
Yes,
say something, then they think
sure.
they saw it. That's different. That's
That is
different than
also
lying.
possible. That is, but
Yeah,
it could be either thing. Or
I could go
everybody
with
could have
that.
seen the Mothman. I don't know.
I'm gonna say, having read about this a lot, and I'm gonna get to the whole climax of it. It seems to me, I just feel like it happened. Okay, and I
Okay.
am not a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy, but I just feel like I can't even explain. When I saw this movie, I felt so sure in my heart that this was real. I can't even, I don't know why. Okay. I went there not, I didn't know what I was going to see. It's, you know what I mean? I didn't have any preconceived notions about the movie or anything, but I was so sure that this was giving like a rendition of something that really happened. I don't know, but to this day, I can't shake it that I really feel that this is real. I don't know. I can't back that up. I was obviously not there. I was born in 1966. Okay. I don't know, but I am telling you, I got a feeling from this movie so much different than any other movie I've ever seen that this was
Okay.
real. I don't know why. Okay. That's all I can say. You know me. All I can share is how I really feel.
I, I,
So that I
that's
don't
fine.
I don't know why. I did not go to this movie expecting to have that feeling. I just went to the movie. That's it. I did not know.
Okay.
But to this day, I feel this conviction that this is the truth. So that's all I'm going to
Okay.
share. Like, it has not happened. I don't think it's happened to me with any other movie, um, except obviously real historical events that we know happened, right?
Right.
Um, so locals were convinced that they saw the Mothman daily. And the physical resemblance of the Mothman resembled several types of demons encountered during bouts of sleep paralysis. So maybe these visions are nothing more than human fears incarnate, a trick of the mind, a strange entity proved from the subconscious of fearful locals. However, why would they be in sleep paralysis at that time? We don't know. I'm just saying that. So it all culminated, and the movie culminates with this too, but it really happened, okay? The Silver Bridge collapsed, okay? On December 15th, 1967, just over a year after the Mothman was first seen, the Silver Bridge was packed with cars. The bridge was placed under extreme strain. The bridge was initially made for lighter cars, like Model Ts weighing 1,500 pounds, but modern cars were over 4,000 pounds. The bridge engineers weren't too cautious or imaginative when creating the bridge, and when one part of the bridge failed, the rest followed. Sweet. Without warning, a single bar, whatever that is, near the top of the bridge on the Ohio State cracked. The chain snapped and the bridge fell to pieces, plunging people and cars into the icy waters of the Ohio River below. 46 people died by drowning, hypothermia, or being crushed by the wreckage. Now, in the movie, the woman, Laura Linney, as we now know, was told she's number 47, right? And really cinematically, Richard Gere jumps into the water to save her, right? And so number 47 survives, okay? But so I'm not, look, it's cinematic. It's so cute that your cat is behind you. So
I,
cute.
this is the cat no one ever sees either.
Oh,
He's
there's the
real.
cat. What's his name?
This is the Kit Kat.
Kit Kat. Hello, Kit Kat. We see
Yeah, but
you.
I told you the funny part was his name was Beans. That was his original name.
Yes. Yes.
So me and Casey, thinking the same with our black
That's right.
pets.
Absolutely. Because Casey's dog is. Oh, uh-oh. Oh, well, Kit
What?
Kat's still there, sort of. A little. The tail remains. The butt and the
Yeah,
tail
he's
remains.
hanging out. Of course.
That's right. Well, Bean
It's
is the
just
name
funny
of
because
Casey's
it's,
dog. In
yeah,
case people don't.
yeah, Bean.
In case people don't know, Casey's dog. His name is Bean. Yes. Um. Well, you guys have that in common. You and Casey have a very special connection, which maybe we'll delve into more
Yes,
another time.
always.
Um.
Yeah,
Yeah, you did. You did. Absolutely. There's no question. You still do. Absolutely.
very
So
much so.
I really, yes, absolutely. I don't know why. I've seen a lot of movies. Obviously, we all have. But for some reason, this movie haunts me. I just feel that this is the truth. I can't tell you why. But out of all the movies, this movie has stayed with me to this day. It was a long time ago. Whenever the Mothman Prophecies came out, it was a long time ago, right?
It was, and it's funny. We saw it. I can tell you where we saw it, the Lynbrook Theater.
Yes, I remember that. It was a
Yeah,
long time ago. I was still married, but honestly, to this day,
me
that
too.
stays with me. And it just, oh yeah, because
Yeah.
of me, right?
No, well, yes.
Okay.
No, I
So
said
you
I
were,
was still married too, but I do remember,
oh,
and I
okay.
knew before you said it that that was what you were going to talk about because, yeah,
So
you've always
well,
said this.
what do you think of the movie? Yes, but so the movie didn't affect you at all, in other words.
Not at all. Like I said,
Okay.
I
Well,
didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was just a
I
movie.
don't
Like
know
it,
what it is. Yeah,
I
it just
don't know.
affected me so much. I don't know what
That
to say.
happens.
So,
It
okay.
does. It happens to people.
Yeah,
So it
yeah,
obviously it had
yeah.
some connection for you,
I
you know?
just think it's proof that there are signs of things, and maybe I needed to know that because what would happen to me later with Casey and everything. When I
It's
look
very
back
possible.
at my life at other signs I've gotten, I feel like a lot of them are in preparation for dealing with my son. Um,
Yeah, that makes sense.
so yeah, so the movie I highly recommend seeing this movie. And although we told you what happens, I still think you should see it for yourself if you haven't. It's really quite amazing movie. Um, so the bridge collapse was the second bizarre thing that put Point Pleasant on the map following the Mothman sightings. It wasn't long before the two cases were connected and the Mothman was blamed for the bridge's failure. Point Pleasant, but I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. We don't know why the Mothman came, that's for sure. But and this is where legend has come in. But they say the Mothman showed up before disasters happened. Apparently, this none of this can be proven until the Point Pleasant thing. But whether or not that's true, the Point Pleasant thing is pretty extreme to show that the
Yeah,
Mothman was there for whatever reason,
but
showing
why
all
was it
these
his
things and having
fault?
to put it
Why
together.
wasn't he warning? Why was it his fault and not that he was coming to warn
No
people?
one said it was his. No one
Oh,
said it was his
okay. I
fault. Everybody said he was
misunderstood.
warning.
Okay, good.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No, the
Because that
idea
makes
of the
more
Mothman
sense.
is that he is warning. Yes.
Oh, okay.
No. The idea of the Mothman is that he's warning, but no one can understand what that warning means.
Before it
And
happened.
that can be applied to so many things in life. Yes. So, and I mean, that's so ironic, and that just adds into all the irony of life when no matter how many things we are handed that give us clues to things, we still can't figure out what's going to happen
I
because we're
know.
not
It's so
given the
true.
whole thing. And I totally, maybe that's why I identify with this so much, but I don't know. I did it way before this happened with Casey, but I even more to this day. So after the Mothman, there were other things that they said happened. They said that um, the Mothman was seen even before the Twin Towers thing, not the thing, not to make light of it. The Mothman was seen before the Towers tragedy, and then they also saw him before the Mexican swine flu outbreak of 2009 and the 2011 nuclear disaster in Fukushima, Japan. Now, I don't know. I don't know about that stuff, and I haven't researched it. But
I
someone
never heard that
specifically that I
about
thought
the
that he admitted.
towers.
Oh yeah, I mean it was in several things that I read. Again, a lot of people said they saw a Mothman-like creature. So yeah, but then I saw. I don't know if it's true because I saw this whole documentary about things in history, and then they said it didn't happen. So I don't know. I'm just telling you what I've read recently. And then they said uh, in 2016, a man who had recently moved to the area saw a creature jumping from tree to tree, just like in the original report. He claimed that he had been unaware of the legend until he saw the beast himself. So someone reported in 2016 that he saw the creature. The legend of the Mothman lives on in museums. A 12-foot store chrome statue of the beast and Mothman plushies being love plushies being held in the arms of children as they visit the many gift shops of the town. And there is even a Mothman festival which celebrates one of America's strangest local legends, and this attracts locals and visitors alike like moths to a flame. So
Very nice.
I don't know. I'm just going to say, all
Listen,
I can tell you
we
is,
saw we saw
all I
that
can
board
say is
book.
that I am attracted to it. What?
Yeah, but you wouldn't let me buy the board book.
What? Oh, when we were in Salem?
Yeah,
No, because there was no connection to anything with that. That board book was not giving the whole connection of anything. So I didn't think you should buy
it's a
that
board
for
book.
your grandchild because, no, I think that context is needed for anybody, no matter how young they are. So I
All
don't think
right.
it's right to just introduce a child to that without real. I think maybe, I guess my overall idea is that these things should not be introduced to children until they're old enough to really understand that they have to take this in and consider it
Uh,
and have their own critical thinking. I don't think we should I think it made me think of indoctrination was so young without any context. I'm against indoctrination of any kind. And I think that we should
so
wait
is
till children
everybody
are old
else.
enough to really. What do you mean?
Yeah, I'm the only one who thought that was a good idea.
Right, because children have to be old enough to understand that just because they're presented with something, they need evidence for it. Critical thinking, as we've talked about so much in this podcast, so much, right? And yet, still eludes most of society.
Listen, I don't know.
It's true.
I
Well, it's
agree,
true.
but in this case, I don't agree.
You thought it would just be fun to give your grandchild, right?
Most board books are fun. A lot. Have you read these board
You're
books?
probably right. Well, okay. Maybe part of me has a problem with that and thinks that they should have more context to them. Maybe part of me thinks it's indoctrination, but maybe part of me is like, oh yeah, you're right. It's just something that they'll just enjoy in the moment and pass by. But the deeper part of me is like, no, they need deeper context to it. I'm
I
sorry, but like I feel like
I
when we're little, we take in so much more than the rest of our lives.
I agree, but I don't think at that age it's as big a deal. I think when they get a little older, it is.
Well, Maria Montessori, her research and evidence prove that we never learn more than we learn up to age 6. So, who about retention? About the context of things, I don't know. I guess I would err more on the cautious side of that because I don't want to be responsible for indoctrinating anybody with it. I want them to be understand the idea of critical thinking with it. So that's where I stand on that.
Okay.
I understand and I get you. I think board books are adorable, and you're probably right completely. But That's just me with all the shit that I've been through. So you're probably right. I'm not gonna lie. So
Maybe both
I
of us are
don't
right.
know if we. Yes, that's right. Maybe both. I like that. You're right. No, I think it's true. I agree.
First,
Well, I think we're gonna have to do another episode of this. You have to
part
go
two.
back and find your notes, and we'll do another episode of this.
That's great.
Pascale? Uh-oh. She's gone. Pascale. She's gone. She's gone. Let's see what she says. Pascale says she can't get back in. So I guess I'm going to end this. I will just give you one quote from Albert Camus, and he said, "Fiction is the lie through which we tell the truth." So I'm going to leave you with that, and hopefully we can reconnect with Pascale the next time and talk more about this stuff. Apologies about the abrupt exit of Pascale. She tried, she got booted out. These things happen. Maybe it was the Mothman that did it. And thank you so much for listening. Au revoir and dia, as Pascale says.